So we have been putting in a lot of work on the Mazda Miata. We've solved plenty of issues and upgraded a lot of key parts. For today, we are going to drive the Miata over to 3R Automotive to get a couple of points checked out. First off, I want to get an oil change in the car. The old oil filter is still stuck on there, and it's either because some other shop ugga-dugged the living hell out of it and just got it stuck on there, or it was back when we were dealing with overheating issues and maybe that gasket got melted on there. So we'll have to see what's going on there, but 3R will definitely be able to solve that. Otherwise, after getting the suspension installed as well as the radiator and a couple other bits, I just want to have them go over our DIY work to make sure it is all safe and sound. Now, with the coilover installs, of course, that means that we have to go and get an alignment. Plus, we have new wheels and tires, so they're going to be doing the alignment and they're going to be doing the corner balancing on the Miata just like they did for the Audi R8. I get the feeling it is going to dramatically change how the car feels. They're also going to adjust the heights a little bit just to make sure we aren't scrubbing or rubbing and that the car is functional and still looks good. We still have an idle issue of some kind. It's not stalling in neutral like it used to, so that's definitely a big improvement from the first time that 3R looked at the Miata. But there's still some idle control issues. They had set it at 800 and it seems to have trouble sitting there, especially once it's warmed up. It seems like it wants to sit around 250. I'm gonna have them also look at the alternator belt or whatever belt is causing that horrible squealing noise. I think that's gonna get solved, which I am very much looking forward to. You guys have no idea how embarrassing it is to jump into a Miata, fire it up in the parking lot, and it makes this horrible squealing noise. Oh yeah, I'm hoping that they will install some new bolts in the radiator as well as the fans, because as we know, those were missing. At least a lot of them were. And lastly, it seems like we have some kind of fuel smell or a fuel leak happening, potentially a coolant leak as well. So that is the full laundry list that we're gonna be taking the Miata over to 3R to get inspected and hopefully fixed. But yeah, they will probably be holding on to the car for about 2 weeks. And we'll go back and pick it up and hopefully it's completely different. So let's go ahead and head on over to 3R.
Yeah. It's worth, if we're not gonna do the bushings or the arms now,
Yeah.
and we're gonna set your alignment, you're gonna wind up wanting to redo that.
Okay, that was gonna be one of my
Suspension
questions
stuff.
actually.
Yeah.
Is like if we end up doing the bushings, does it mess with the alignment?
Every car's a little different, but
Yeah.
I think on that car there's, I think they're using eccentrics on at least the lower control arms
Okay.
for the front end. We can go look at that other car that we've got out there
Gotcha.
and make sure, but just by taking them off
Yeah.
and putting it back on, you could index mark them, like scribe or paint mark them,
Right.
and get close.
Yeah.
But like there's lasers and stuff, so
Right, yeah.
you're kind of throwing that out the window.
No, that's fair. That makes sense.
The bushings aren't hard.
Okay.
They're time consuming.
Got it.
Like they're just annoying.
Yeah.
And that's assuming that they're not seized in there and have to get like cut out or burnt out or something
Yeah,
like
for
that.
sure, for sure.
Which you never, sometimes it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can spend 2 hours cutting a bushing out of
Right.
a control arm.
Yep.
So it's up to you.
For
If
sure.
you're interested, we can look at the car that's out there. I haven't been out in the shop yet this morning, but I think it's on the alignment rack.
Okay.
And Cody was chasing camber settings on that, so he might actually have some input
Sure.
because it's the same same generation as yours.
That'd be
it's
awesome.
kind of convenient. Like
Yeah.
there's a pile of old control arms that probably look just like yours right
That's
next to the car
hilarious.
now. Do you want to go check that out real quick and see if see if any of that strikes you as interesting or something that you want to mess with now.
I'm definitely down with that.
How's that? Yeah, R8 doing?
Oh, the R8's doing really good. It's been smooth sailing. I'll actually have it in here soon for an oil change.
What are you doing to it?
What's that, sir?
What else are you doing to it? What's
Oh,
up
to the
next?
R8?
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm keeping it
You
pretty
just messing
simple.
with the Miata now.
Yeah, exactly. I'm keeping it pretty simple right now. Like,
What are consequences for playing with the Miata?
exactly, and like just the Miata is just like so much lower cost to maintain. So, but yeah, the Audi, I'm probably just gonna do like a diamond grille in the front or a hexagon grille.
Keep it black like the other stuff?
Yeah, exactly. Not much going on there. So,
No, I think you're right. It's fun to like. I think cheap cars are more fun. I'm not afraid of them.
oh, for sure. But don't get me wrong, I'll still be, yeah, for sure. I'll still be taking it to the track probably twice a year, but I just don't want to go crazy on power.
Cody, Marty,
Cody.
with the R8 and the Miata that we were talking about doing the arms and stuff with.
Yeah, how's it going, man? Good to see you.
We were debating whether to do bushings and arms now because he'd probably wind up having to redo his alignment.
Yeah.
If he wanted to do the bushings himself, those are all lower eccentric stuff in the front. Yeah. Okay.
Cool. Yeah, it makes sense.
Were you gonna press them in? I was telling him it's almost worth your while to just
Right.
get the whole arm.
Yeah, he was telling me that.
The rears are kind of hard to find.
Okay.
And those are easy enough to press in.
Yeah.
You can do 2 of the wider spread
Okay.
on the press.
Yeah.
The problem with the inners is you can't get it into the press.
Got it.
You got to use the vise, and it's just
Yeah.
time consuming.
That makes sense. Yeah. I wasn't sure if it was like you guys could align it and then I could put the bushings in afterwards.
I mean, you
but-
can. You just
Yeah.
got to redo the alignment.
Exactly.
But yeah, whatever you want to do. I mean,
Yeah.
you can redo it easily enough.
Right.
Whatever process.
Yeah, we could hold off on the alignment for now if you wanted to.
Yeah.
We could like set your base ride height or something for now.
Got it.
And just hold off on the alignment. So
Yeah.
if you want to do the bushings yourself.
Well, the corner balance and alignment is kind of 2 separate things. So we can set your ride height and get your corner balance.
Right.
And then as long as you don't change your coilover ride height,
Yeah.
then when you do your bushings, it's only really going to be just a quick alignment.
Okay.
So we don't have to like, we could set it on the scales just to confirm that
Right.
it doesn't change anything. But I mean, you just connect the one bolt. I mean, it doesn't change ride height.
Right.
Cody, do you happen to know if
I
on
think
these
we-
cars with stock arms, can you get the alignment in spec if they're lowered?
Within reason, depending. You're not trying to track it, right? So you're not going for aggressive. You're trying to
Not
get more tire saving.
Basically,
Yeah.
like I'll probably take it to the track maybe 2 times a year. So
Okay.
yeah, it's not like a crazy track car by any means.
Like this guy, we're
can
going
see the
pretty
camber
aggressive.
of these.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, like for a flying Miata spec, it's not going to be this aggressive. But this guy's been trying to go to full sticker tire, if you
Got
will.
it.
But I don't know what his tread wear is going to be this year. He said he's going to a sticker tire. That's why he's doing all the bushings.
Nice.
I think I had told you yours were just aged out. Right?
Yes.
They were all worn.
Yeah, you got it.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't have the bushings with me here today.
That's okay if you
Yeah.
wanted to do that, and if you wanted to do the arms, we'd have to order all that anyway.
Got it.
So we could dig into some of the mechanical stuff now.
Yeah.
I can show you two
Get
ones.
arms
I told him
yeah,
to
you want
do.
to see that.
Okay, thanks.
These uppers are kind of nice because then you get the adjustability on that ball joint,
Oh yeah.
game camber, as well as down here.
Yeah.
These lockouts suck. Don't get those.
Okay.
They're just hell to fine tune. And then the same with the rear. You can see. So the upper on this one, the same thing. It's got 2 locking pinch bolts, and then you can thread it in and out. So
I see that.
those are nice. I mean, for the price of what those are,
Yeah.
and pressing in new bearings or bushings rather, you're better off just to get the assembly.
Right. Yeah, that's fair. That makes sense to me. But yeah, I can still bring in the box of bushings, of course. But yeah, I mean,
These lowers, like I said, were hard to find, so we did press those ones in.
that's fine.
That's what I was saying. These ones are just too tight of a gap to get it in the press. These ones aren't too bad.
Nice.
But yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
If
might as
you
well do it, honestly.
those yourself, or if we do them, the main thing is to tighten that bolt at load.
Okay.
So don't just have everything at droop and tighten it down, and then you
Right.
put the load on the bushing, and then your bushing's already prematurely
Right.
loaded.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Cool.
Yeah, I'd say we're probably gonna move forward with like the whole assembly, like you were talking about.
Okay.
After hearing all that, so.
While you're there, you know, it's a
Yeah.
kind of a going forward. You don't have to think about it.
Oh, for sure, absolutely, and might as well do it right. So. Yeah.
Let me run out there with you and sort of look at the radiator mounts and
Yeah.
stuff and kind of resolve a couple
Yeah.
questions to make sure we're clear on what we're doing.
Yeah.
And I can source those parts. All that pricing and stuff should be accurate. We just ordered those a couple weeks ago, so I can pretty much just copy paste those onto your.
Sounds good. Looks quite a bit different than the last time that you guys saw it.
It looks like a car.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not much more fun than you can have in a Miata.
I know,
These things are
exactly.
great. I wish I could fit it.
It's definitely pretty cramped in there. But yeah, so we got the Mishimoto installed here. Yeah, we noticed that there were a lot of, and I actually have this on video too, where a lot of the fan bolts are missing.
Okay. Oh, that's easy enough.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then I think we're missing that one over there. Yep.
Okay, so does this... Of course it's hot.
Yeah.
It looks like we might have to kind of tweak this bracket over a little bit.
Okay.
Which isn't a big deal. It looks like it'll kind of move.
Yeah.
And then it's just replacing hardware. So that's...
Yeah, exactly.
That should be fine then. I don't think we might not even need an hour for that, assuming we have everything that we need for it.
Right. No, that's good.
Ride heights. How do you like it? Did you kind of set it with a tape measure, or have you pretty much just slapped it on there?
Originally we slapped it on there just to get through the damn project,
that's what you do. Yeah.
Yeah, we got the heights adjusted, kind of.
It looks level-ish.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
do you like that? Do you want a little bit of rake? There's potential reasons for doing either, but
Okay.
most folks start with what looks good and
Yeah.
then
and then move it to rake.
and then adjust from there.
I would say we can keep it level for now.
Okay. It looks like you could probably go down a smidge in the front.
The fronts, I've noticed when I go over bumps, it still will like rub a little bit.
Your tires rubbing?
I think so, just a tad. But it's like usually when we just go over bumps.
It's not necessarily at lock.
Yeah.
Okay. So that might actually be, if you're going to get aftermarket arms,
Yeah.
that could give us the option to fix. We can fix a lot of tire rubbing issues
Okay.
in an alignment.
Sweet.
Sometimes at the expense of tire wear, like we can, you're most likely rubbing. You can actually see where you're rubbing on the tire. And it looks like it's here. We could talk about rolling your fenders also,
Right.
which we can do. But between that and more aggressive front camber, which you can get with those upper arms that Cody showed you,
Yeah.
we might can solve that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm open to it. After, like I said, after talking with Cody, and now I'm kind of like, all right, yeah, you guys can go for it.
These things are pretty easy to do that kind of stuff on.
Yeah.
And the parts are affordable, like you said.
I do have the new fuel injectors in the passenger seat, but like I said, when we tried to install those, it just did not seem to get along, even though they look like almost the exact same.
I'm curious as to why. What are these the original OE injectors as far as you know? Okay,
that's correct.
And what are the injectors you got for it?
They were just like some eBay ones where they were like 1.6 liter.
Okay. The fuel injectors generally don't wear out.
Right.
The flow pattern can degrade, they can get clogged up, all of that can go, but like you can clean that and repair them.
Right.
So if you're cool with it, we'll send those out, get them cleaned up.
That's totally
and
fine.
like I said, like if you nerd out on that kind of thing, you'll get a packet of like, this is what they flowed, this is what the spray pattern looked like.
Pretty cool,
here's what they are
actually.
now. Yeah, it's sort of fun. And like I said, they're local, they're super affordable, and we usually get those back within a week.
Yeah. Assuming that's what's causing the idle issue, I'm so down with that.
It might or might not be.
Yeah.
Interestingly, and purely by coincidence, it's not like a Miata issue. We have another Miata in here that we've been fighting. It's a turbo car.
Okay.
We've been fighting floaty idles with that. We've had it down at the tuner twice.
Damn.
We've done a bunch of diag and really dug into it, and we keep thinking it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll put miles on it for a day or so, and it'll just like die at a red light.
Yeah.
So that kind of intermittent issue can be really challenging
Oh,
to,
for
to
sure.
chase down.
Yeah.
You have a stock ECU, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This is 92 though, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm not sure what we'll be able to read
Yeah.
from that.
You're right. Yeah. The OBD1.
He's got some goofy. It's not goofy. It's a relatively kind of niche piggyback tuner
Got it.
in his car, and we're having a hard time talking to it. So
Okay.
like we can't see what's going on when it dies. It's just
Right.
like, well, I guess we'll check this.
Yeah.
But we'll dig into that, and like I said, if it's something that we should have caught or something that we did mess up the first time we dug into the idle issue, we'll stand by it.
That's fine.
And take care of you
Like
there.
I said, I'm just happy that it's not stalling.
Yeah, absolutely.
So-
Like I said, we'll dig into some of the mechanicals,
Yeah.
get those parts ordered in the next day or so.
Okay.
They'll be here mid next week.
Cool.
So no rush
Sounds
getting them up here. I think we're good, man. Anything else we should go over?
I'm pretty sure that's it, other than, just everything that we talked about in the email, so
Okay.
should be pretty good, so.
I think we're set then, man.
Cool. Well, I'm gonna get a little fist bump on camera here.
You got it, bud.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for bringing it back into us.
Oh,
Looking
of
forward to
course.
seeing the Audi again too.
Yeah, absolutely. That'll be back in soon, so.
Things pretty. No, this isn't. It's just in its own way.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so we dropped off the Miata successfully. One of the other things that I was considering having 3R doing was the bushings, like the full bushing set. I actually have the entire box. Full box of bushings right there, ready to go. And I was considering doing it myself just because it's a lot of labor involved. But 3R recommended, hey, let's go ahead and do the upper control arms and the swing arms, etc. So we're gonna go ahead and move forward with that as well. I have to go and drop off that box of bushings within the next 2 days or so. When the Miata comes back, it's gonna feel like a completely different car, I think. So it's gonna be worth it. Plus, new suspension, new control arms. That always looks good. So yeah, we'll see how this goes.